How about we multiply some polynomials now? I'm going to take a binomial by a binomial first. Let's start with this one. And my favorite method of this is using foil. I love a piece of foil. Makes a great helmet. Foil stands for first, outer, inner, last. You could do this other ways. Yes, you could break these two apart and multiply it by the binomial, but I think the easiest method is really to FOIL it. So FOIL first. These are my first two terms, so I multiply them. 2x times x is 2x squared, first terms. Outer terms, far outside, out. 2x times negative 3, negative 6x. Inner terms, like the innards here, negative 1 times x, negative 1x. And last, negative 1 times negative 3 is a positive 3. So simple. First, outer, inner, last. And then at the end, the only thing left to do is combine my like terms. I want to just clean everything up. So 2x squared has nobody to combine with, but I've got a negative 6x and a negative 1x, and that becomes negative 7x. And 3 is alone. And there's my new trinomial. If you see it like this, that means that I'm just going to expand it out. I'm doing x minus 2 squared. I know that you're thinking, some of you, about how we used exponents before, but this is a binomial, not a monomial. So it's not like having something like this, 4x cubed to the 6th, where you took the 4, you raise it to the 6th power. I don't have my calculator with me, so whatever that might come out to be. And x cubed to the 6th power would be x to the 18th. I'm not going to solve it like that. I'm going to actually take this x minus 2, and I'm going to do x minus 2 times x minus 2. I think that's the easiest way. And then I can go back to foiling it again. Because if I just did x to the 2nd power and negative 2 to the 2nd power, I wouldn't get the right answer here. I would totally miss the middle term. So let's FOIL. First, x times x, x squared. Outer, negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Inner, negative 2 times x again, negative 2x. And last, negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. The better you are with integers, the quicker it really goes, I have to be honest. At the end here now, I just want to combine my like terms. So I have a negative 2 and a negative 2. Well, negative 2 plus negative 2 is a negative 4. And plus 4 comes down, and simple. Okay, so just to clarify that, whenever you're squaring a binomial, not a monomial, you're going to expand it out and use FOIL. Now, if you were doing a, excuse my toy cars here, if you were doing a binomial by a trinomial or a polynomial, it could be even bigger. Somebody from our class gave us a great suggestion. They said, why don't we just break this binomial apart and do one piece at a time? I thought that was a great idea. So let's do x times 2x squared minus 6x plus 9. Then I'm going to do that negative 1. He's a bad guy, so don't lose his sign. Always be careful of your signs. That's where you really make your errors. Negative 1 times 2x squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay, now let's just multiply. X times 2x squared is 2x to the 3rd. X times negative 6x is negative 6x squared. X times positive 9 is positive 9x. Oof, that was a lot. Now we got to go for the negative 1. Negative 1, whenever you're multiplying negative 1 by something, really what you're doing is just changing all the signs. Some of you just change the signs when you're subtracting, but I'll do it. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x squared. Negative 1 times negative 6 is a positive 6x. And negative 1 times a positive 9 is a negative 9. Okay, now we got a lot to clean up here. We got a big mess. Okay, 2x cubed. There are no other x cubes, so we'll just leave him be. 2x cubed. Negative 6x squared and negative 2x squared is a negative 8x squared. So that takes care of that. I think I'm just going to kind of cross them out as I go so I see what I have. I have a positive 9x and a positive 6x. That's a positive 15x. And that negative 9 has nobody else to go along with. We'll just bring him down. And there's my polynomial. He is a third degree polynomial. Has the biggest degree. The leading coefficient is 2. The constant is negative 9. He's got 4 terms all together here. So done. Okay, I figured I'd do one. I do love math. I love all this algebra. I love polynomials. So I figured we'd try one that was kind of hard. So this one down here, x minus 3 squared minus another binomial, a polynomial. It's like you're taking a bunch of stuff together. Well, it should make sense to you, going back to order of operations, that we should try the x minus 3 squared first, and then worry about your subtraction. So x minus 3 times x minus 3, and then I'm not even going to worry about this yet. I'm just going to take care of this math. Well, x minus 3 times x minus 3, let me do a quick FOIL here. X times x is x squared first. Outer, inner, last, okay, which becomes, I am going to clean this up though, x squared minus 6x plus 9. And the more you FOIL, the better you get at it. You'll be able to do it in your head after a while. Minus 6x squared plus 4x minus 1. Okay, so I've taken care of my foiling, so I've done that guy. I'm going to just kind of leave him alone. I'm going to bring him down. And now I'm going to take care of multiplying my negative 1, by distributing my negative 1 into all these parts. And again, I know some of you just change the signs of all these terms, which is the same thing. You definitely can do that. I think the only error that some of you make is you really got to watch your signs when you're combining. Remember, you have a positive 1 plus a negative 6. That's going to be a negative 5x squared. So just be careful of that. You've got a negative 6 and a negative 4. That's a negative 10x. Let me just cross those out. Done, 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 done. Positive 9 plus a positive 1 is a positive 10. And that whole big hard problem just came down to this. And after a while, again, foiling should be something you could do in your head. We'll do a quick one on the side here before the time runs out. If you had x plus 1 times x minus 3. All right, pause it. Try it quick. Try to do it in your head. X squared minus 2x